Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here with all four lobes of my brain securely bound behind my back, and welcome to another episode of Call Center Survivor. Today, I'm going to be discussing the outcome of my interview with a call center position with a life insurance company. So stay tuned for that one, baby. So he slumped down in his chair, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And he goes, "Well, aside from my wife being sick and in the hospital, I'm okay, I guess."
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?
So, as I had mentioned in my previous episode, my darling wife lost her job. And after 15 years, almost 16 years with her company, they bid her adieu. They're having some budget problems after a big merger, of course, and they had to get rid of a few people. They got rid of about 10% of their entire staff across the globe. So anyway, I don't make enough money here on YouTube's to, support her and I. So we're both looking for work, and I've embarked on a new journey of looking for jobs. And I thought I'd throw the feelers out there for call center jobs, and it's been quite the journey, and I have quite the story for you as to what happened with my last interview with this life insurance company. But before I get to that, let me bring you over here. I've got a new surprise to you. Oingo Boingo is a star, my friends. Let's go over to my teespring.com account. Teespring is where I sell t-shirts and mugs and cell phone covers and lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And I have featured Oingo Boingo on a new t-shirt. So if you want to help the financial causes of PTPOP and his wife, come on over to teespring.com, look up for Skating Bear Studios. I'll put a link to this in the description of this video, and you go down here. Check this out, people. Oingo Boingo on a t-shirt. Look at that. I just came up with this today. $24.99 for a t-shirt, but I'm running a special. You can get this $10 off if you use the code CALLCENTER. And you can get this I think it's for the next month. I think until January 20th. You can get $10 off by entering the code of call center. And I put a link to it in my post on YouTube. But I've got t-shirts, I've got sweatshirts, hoodies. I made it in white because white, Oingo Boingo defines the presence of positivity, of the light at the end of the tunnel. He is the quintessential angel of grace in the call center survivor world. Let's put Oingo Boingo back on his stoop here, and we shall proceed with my story. There he is, up on his stoop, up above PTPOP. So I applied for what I think is this job on Indeed. And this is virtual customer service representative. It's confidential. Columbus, Ohio, remote. Benefits, flexible schedule, opportunities for advancement, retirement plan, work from home, yada, 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 right? Virtual customer service representative. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but handle customer inquiries, providing information, so on and so forth. I think this is the one because I can't find where I applied for a position like this. This is the only place I've applied for that was confidential. Word of warning. I would not in any way, shape, or form when you're on Indeed apply to confidential companies. I would not do it. It's never worked out for me. It always ends up being a sham or like a pyramid scheme type of company or what I'm about to explain. So that's what I think I applied to. Now, that being said, so as I told you in the previous interview, the first interview was with this guy on a group interview for a call center position. And he came out kind of a shadowy figure with a beard or a goatee, and he was very serious and kind of came out and said, well, it's signing people up for health benefits, people that have reached their 90-day they've passed their 90-day. What do you call it? The 90-day. My mind just gone blank. When you're at work, you get a 90-day trial period, and if you pass their expectations of you as an employee after 90 days, you can sign up for benefits. So allegedly, I was supposed to Zoom call with individuals in a blue-collar setting who had passed their 90-day trial period with their employer, and I was to offer them assistance in setting up their health benefits and also try to sell them life insurance. And so the guy said you could make anywhere from $1,300 to $1,600 a week, which is a boatload of money for a call center position. It was all work from home. And there were 50 people on this call. They had all of our microphones muted. And he told us that he was going to send us all a link to the email we had submitted. We were to, click on this link and forward to them our bio and our phone number and our email address. And if they were interested and they liked our bio, they would contact us via text message to set up a second interview, an individual interview, a one-on-one interview. All right, so I submit my bio. I already have my bio written out in a variety of different places for different platforms that I work on and for different jobs I applied for. So I shoot off my bio, which has nothing. My bio really has nothing to do with call center work. It's all about filming and making documentaries and photography, things like that. So next day I get a text message saying, "Hey Pete, we saw your bio. We'd like to invite you to a second interview." And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm thinking, well, what is this going to be about? So I scheduled an appointment this is for yesterday afternoon. It was a Zoom call with the same guy who did the initial group interview for this company. And the company was Globe Life. And this is a massive insurance company. They're just very large. So I was really kind of confused what the position was. So I had all kinds of questions for him. So I'm sitting there, I log into Zoom. I'm set up just like this because I figured the first time I talked to the guy, I was just sitting at my dining room table on my cell phone. I said, screw it. I just, I got cleaned up and stuff. I had a, turtleneck on, a sweater, and all this, but this time I didn't have all the lights on here in my studio. This is my whole studio. There's Sven. Hello, Sven. I hate T-shirts. I hate T-shirts. So I'm in here now, but yesterday I had all the lights. The window was open. The lights were off. I just had this main key light on, and that was it. So I'm sitting here, and the Zoom call comes in, and there's this guy, same guy, but he's just sitting in the dark. He didn't have neon lights behind him like I did, but he was sitting in a dark room, and he's sitting down like this. Room is dark. There's window blinds behind him, but they're drawn, and it's white window blinds. And it's just kind of like, I'm like, what's going on here? Who is this guy? Is that the guy? I'm looking at the screen like, is this the guy I talked to yesterday? Looks like him. But he slumped down in his chair and he's like, I said, hey. He's like, yeah, I said, can you hear me? He's like, yeah, I can hear you. I can see you. And I'm like, okay. And so it's dark. And I can barely see him. It's very weird. And we're talking a little bit. No. This is what happened. So he slumped down in his chair, and I'm like, hey, how are you doing today? And he goes, well, aside from my wife being sick and in the hospital, I'm okay, I guess. And I said, oh, wow, that's terrible. What is everything okay? Because I'm being all empathetic. I'm trying to show my empathy skills here. And he goes, well, she's right. I'm in her hospital room right now. She's actually, and he looks over in this direction like he's looking at her in bed. I guess he's in a hospital room. And he goes, yeah, she's going to be fine. It's all working out. Don't worry about it. And he slumped down, you know. I'm like,
Jesus H. Christ.
and just like, what the fuck? Pardon the language, but what the fuck is going on here, man? So the whole interview, it's one-on-one. It's just he and I, and he slumped down in his chair. You know, in my mind, I'm picturing his wife is sitting there in the bed with wires in her nose and you know, IVs in her arm, and you know, he's like, well, you know. So we proceed with the interview, and I begin to ask him questions, and it turns out the job really is and isn't what he kind of said it was. So the job was this. It is what I initially explained after the 90-day trial period. I would have to set up Zoom call appointments with individual employees to set up their benefits. And I had to place a minimum, my numbers I had to reach were 12 appointments a week. And as long as I did the 12 appointments a week, I would get paid every Friday. But I wasn't paid an hourly wage. It was like piecework, meaning that I had to do at least 12 appointments, 12 Zoom calls a week to get paid. So I was paid by the Zoom call, and I could make anywhere from $1,300 to $1,600 a week if I made the appointments. But here's the big part. I had to also upsell him or them on things like cancer insurance and life insurance and a bunch of different insurance add-ons above and beyond the given benefits. So keep in mind, I would have been working with blue collar types, you know, guys and gals that he told me were welders or plumbers or worked in shops around the country, around, you know, the US. They were union workers. And, you know, I know lots of guys like this. I grew up with them. And can you imagine calling up some guy who's just got done a day of working in a shop somewhere? He's covered with shit, and I call him up on the Zoom call, and I said, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, buddy. Yeah, buddy, you know, I was just out there in the shop. You know, you trying to sell me cancer insurance? Are you fucking kidding me? You know, what are you trying to do here? I want my benefits, and that's it." Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine the fucking crazy calls I would have had to take on this weird thing. So, but this guy said, you know, slumped down in his chair. He's like, yeah, you got to make a couple of calls. You got to make 12 calls a week. He said most people finish their calls. They get to 12 appointments by Wednesday and they're done. Of course, you do have to sell like cancer insurance and all kinds of other things to them, but there's no problem. So I said, do I have to be licensed in the state of Ohio to sell insurance? He goes, oh, yeah, you got to. But it's no big deal. It's not, it's easy. It's easy, you know. He's like, yeah, you got to be insured. You got to be licensed to sell this stuff, you know. You got to be licensed. But the test isn't that hard, man, you know. It ain't that hard. And, well, it's also going to cost you $250 to take the test. I'm like, okay. He goes, but we'll send you a voucher and you'll get $100 off. So it'll only end up costing you $150. So, number one, I'm not paying an hourly rate. I don't get benefits until I'm there 90 days. And I don't get paid for training. There was no pay for training. So it was 2 weeks of training, like all of these places are, to learn health insurance and health benefits. At the end of the call, I go, so let me ask you some questions, Pete. You know, can you tell me why you're a good fit for this job? You know, and I gave him honest answers. And he said, well, you know, we're looking for people just like you. We're looking for people just like you, you know. We're looking for people that, you know, don't need to be babysat and can, you know, do the job. They're diligent, they're hard workers. I can tell you are because you've made a couple of films and it's not easy, you know. So you must have a lot of, you know, vim and vigor. I don't know what he said. He said something like that. He said, and he asked me a few more traditional interview questions. And he said, so tell me, does this sound like something you want to do? Is this something you want to do, you know? Huh? And I said, sure, what the hell, you know? we hung up, and then my wife and I talked about it, and I told her what happened. I told the guy was in his wife's hospital room. She's like, Pete, come on. There's no way you're taking that job. That's fucking crazy. She didn't say, my wife doesn't swear unless we're watching the Browns and stuff like that. But she said, no, that's crazy. She goes, we both need to work, but you, you don't need to. That sounds really scary to me. But he sent me this thing. So he ends the interview and he sends me this link to an online testing service where I have to go and study to get licensed for selling, life insurance in the state of Ohio, life and health insurance. And I had to pass the test and get licensed within 3 days to get the job. I looked at the link. I don't think I even went there. I just looked, like maybe I did. And I was just like, oh, forget it. I'm done with this. So I don't know what that was. I have no idea if it was a legitimate job. I don't know if I just clicked on a link and just opened up, there's spyware on my computer now. I have no idea. So there you have it. That's my experience with my first call center interview in years, and it was dismal. It was awful, and it was just a joke, an absolute joke. So if you like my videos, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, tell your friends about it, shout it from the rooftop, say PTPOP, go to all your friends that work in call centers and tell them about it. And don't you dare forget that you too can be the proud owner of the Oingo Boingo coffee mug. There's also the Oingo Boingo T-Shirt, right? So you too can be the proud owner of the Oingo Boingo hoodie. Get yours now while they last. Promo code is call center. No space between the two words, just all one word, call center, and you'll get $10 off. Auf Wiedersehen, baby. And remember, beneath our clothes, each and every one of us are completely naked. Auf Wiedersehen, baby. Have a good day. Have a good holiday. Bye.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?